Good evening, you're watching The Buck Stops Here and I'm Barkha Dutt. On the program this evening, Article 370 that gives Jammu and Kashmir its special status is now at the centre of a huge political battle between Narendra Modi and Omar Abdullah. At the heart of the storm is an old, since then quashed anti-woman law. That's what triggered this entire debate. Narendra Modi at his rally in Jammu saying that Omar Abdullah and his sister did not have the same legal rights when it came to buying property, selling property or inheriting property. Omar Abdullah turned around and took on that assumption, saying on Twitter that Modi had got his facts wrong. It's led to a wider debate about Article 370 that the BJP is saying needs a larger debate, and they're saying there's no dilution in Modi's stand or the BJP stand. The BJP wants Article 370 to go. It's evoked strong reactions from Jammu and Kashmir's politicians, with Mehbooba Mufti saying the BJP cannot bring down Article 370 like it brought down the Babri Masjid. On the Buck Stops Here today, we'll be asking whether 370 is an article of faith, really an article of history, or is it a point of politics that resurrects itself every election season? That's coming up on the program today as Omar and Narendra Modi face off.
क्या धारा 370 से यहाँ के सामान्य मानवी का भला हुआ है या नहीं हुआ है, इसकी चर्चा तो कम से कम करो। जो अधिकार यहाँ के मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमान ओमर अब्दुल्ला को मिले हैं, क्या वही अधिकार उनकी बहन सारा को मिले हैं? क्या नहीं मिले हैं, क्योंकि उसने कश्मीर के बाहर शादी की, उसके सारे अधिकार छीन लिए गए।
My problem is with people like Narendra Modi, who knowingly or unknowingly, I don't know which, seek to sort of join Article 370 with our state subject laws. State subject laws have absolutely nothing to do with Article 370. Article 370 determines the relationship between the centre and the state. It is the bridge that joins Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of the country. Our state subject laws are our own.
Narendra Modi says that Article 370 needs a wider debate, and one of the criticisms he has of the article that gives a special status to Jammu and Kashmir is that it allows for discriminatory laws against the women of Jammu and Kashmir. This has been hotly contested by the state's Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, who says that Narendra Modi has got his facts wrong. Among the more controversial state laws in the past, till the High Court of Jammu and Kashmir quashed this proviso, has been what happens to women who marry outside of Jammu and Kashmir. Do they still retain their rights as residents of the state? And do their children get the same rights as what happens to men who marry outside? This is something that has exercised the women of Jammu and Kashmir, and joining me now is somebody who has raised this issue on Twitter again and again in several exchanges with the Chief Minister Omar Abdullah. Sunanda Pushkar Tharoor joining us on the Buck Stops Here. Sunanda, you are somebody who is Kashmiri and you have spoken very passionately about this issue of the problems you ran into when you tried to assert your rights as a resident of Jammu and Kashmir. Tell us what happened with you.
Well, actually, this was about in 2006, 2007 and 2008 when I was trying to buy some land in Jammu. My mom wanted me to have something in my own state. I was told very categorically by the DC's office, who was a Kashmiri Pandit who I would not like to name, said that there's no way you were married to Malayali. My late husband was dead by then. Was a Malayali. They said no, but I said, look, I'm a widow now, he's no more, can I still not get my state subject back? They said no, and they were rather rude about it, and I went continuously for many days, all 3 years, 2006, 2007 and 2008, and I was told no, you've lost the right to be a state subject. I said, look, I have a friend of mine who is married to a Kashmiri and she can buy land, she has bought land, and so can her children inherit this. So you're trying to tell me that now because I'm a Kashmiri girl, I'm married outside, I don't have rights, But a girl who is not a Kashmiri, is married to a Kashmiri boy, gets rights. Not only does she get rights, her kids get rights. I spoke to Omar about this, and he told me that about 10 years ago, apparently, this law was amended. Now, what I don't understand is why did the official who told me from the DC's office that no, this can't happen. Fine, so there was obviously a miscommunication between the government, top official, to the bureaucrats. Still, Omar himself told me, no, it can be done, I will help you, as well as the other girls who have suffered. He was very kind, very generous with, being able to sort it out. Not just me, as some people on Twitter pointed out that I'm a VIP and all that. I don't think of myself as a VIP, number one. And number two, he is a very helpful person, and I'm sure he'll sort it out. But he also told me, no, you do know that your son cannot inherit that. And I found that very awkward, because I said, wait a minute, so you're going to give me my state subject, because apparently the law has been amended 10 years ago. But then why can't my son have it? Why can my cousin, who has married a Maharashtrian girl, how is it possible that his child, both his children, have not only bought land, first of all, they are allowed to buy land, and obviously they are allowed to inherit. Earlier on, I had some land in Kashmir, in the valley. This land I'm talking about that I was buying was in Jammu. But earlier on, I had land in the valley, which my parents very categorically told me, my father in particular, very categorically told me that I have to sign it all off to my brothers, because I now have no legal rights on Kashmir, because in 1992 I married a Malayali guy.
Yeah.
So my question here is, I don't want to get political in this at all.
Yeah.
I really find Narendra Modi is raising an issue. Good for him, happy for him. But I don't want just people to talk about this. You have politicians who are wanting votes right now, and they're just talking about it. What is he going to do? What did the BJP do? The BJP was in government for quite a while. I think they were in government till 2003 or whatever. What did they do to relocate or to change all these laws? It's very easy now to get votes to say, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. I'll be very happy, and I honestly will be very happy if there will be something done. But we do have discrimination for women in Kashmir, and if anybody denies that, they would be lying.
Now, historically, of course, it was the High Court of Jammu and Kashmir that actually reinterpreted an old law and said that no, women should not be discriminated against, they should not lose their domicile status. And as you point out, even if today you have the rights to property, you do not have, your children do not get that right, and so it continues to be discriminatory. I want to ask you, what do you think of Article 370? Because it's a deeply politicized subject, but I ask you not in your capacity as people are going to say, oh, we don't want to talk to you today, Shashi Tharoor's wife. We want to talk to you as Sunanda, who comes from Jammu and Kashmir. And I want to ask you, what do you think of Article 370 and the special status it gives to your state?
Yeah, actually, I'm quite sure my husband will be annoyed with me answering this question. But I do also have a voice. I'm a woman. I'm a Kashmiri, very proudly Kashmiri. And I do beg the pardon of my husband if I say this, but because he's a very big fan of Jawaharlal Nehru's. What I do not understand is when this accord was formed between the Maharaja, between Sheikh Abdullah and Jawaharlal Nehru, they had certain provisions which, according to what I hear, obviously I was not born that time, but according to what I hear from my uncles and my aunts and my grandparents, is this was supposed to be a provision which would go away. How it would go away, I have no idea, but it was supposed to go away. In fact, if I'm not misinformed by my family and elders, Jawaharlal Nehru took the portfolio of Kashmir himself, and Sardar Patelji, who being a home minister, was not part of Kashmir, handling the domestic affairs of Kashmir. Why didn't somebody do something that time? There was an accord as well between Sheikh Abdullah in 1974 and Indira Gandhi. Again, nothing was done. There are a lot of special states in our country, which, Himachal Pradesh is one. Yeah. We have Nagaland, I think Andaman Nicobar, we have Assam. There are a lot of places like that. In Himachal Pradesh, I know, because I am buying a property from a Himachali. They are allowed 99-year lease, and the government gives you certain provisions to be able to do it. So what is it about Kashmir that we can't do it, number one? And
well, it
number
has a
two,
unique history.
I
It has a
understand
unique history. Wouldn't you acknowledge that the instrument of accession and the criteria on which, you know, Jammu and Kashmir became a part of the Indian Union was in special circumstances. So can we deny that special history?
No, we don't deny it. We are pretty all right. We're pretty proud of the fact that we had a special history. We needed to be part of India. I personally think it was a great idea for us to be part of India because, you know, when the Kabali raid took place, a lot of my own ancestors got killed. And it would not have been good for it. Then the Maharaja turned around and appealed to India to look after. I think that was all in good faith. But every time life has to evolve, life has to change. If you're saying we have special status and all, where are the Kashmiri Pandits today? You know, they're in Pune and Delhi and Bombay and wherever. Why, when they were relocated, were they relocated to Nagrota and Jammu? Why not to some areas in Kashmir? They were ultimately given only tents in the beginning. I've seen those places. They were given little hovels to stay in. You're going to give us hovels and just, we're going to protect you. Fine, protect us. You can also protect us in Kashmir. There are areas near Badami Bagh, which is an army cantonment area. There's plenty of land there. Give us a gated community there. There were not too many Kashmiri Pandit families. The amount that were relocated to Nagrota and Jammu and outskirts of Jammu could have been relocated to various parts of Kashmir. They would have still been in Kashmir. They would have still been able to handle their lives. And in saying today, Kashmiri Pandits tell me, oh, it was all right in a way, you know, we did very well once we left. So that is not a criteria. We did very well because, okay, Kashmiri Pandits are a smart lot of people. Wherever we go, we do manage to adapt and do manage to do well. But does that mean that we as Kashmiri Pandits cannot have our Sabhyata? Today, how many kids who are born in Pune, who are born in all over India, even speak Kashmiri? It breaks my heart to know that we have no culture. We don't have our Kashmiriyat. Where is Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru today? I'd like to ask him if he is here. That you tried to protect the Kashmiriyat. Was Kashmiriyat not part of us, Kashmiri Pandits?
So you're opposed to 370?
We have no
Are you
customs.
opposed? Let me ask you in the end, are you opposed to Article 370?
No, I agree in the sense that we needed to maintain our Sabhyata, yes. But I'm opposed to the fact that you are discriminating it. You are telling me that a Kashmiri girl marries outside and she can't inherit or her son can't inherit. But you're telling me the Kashmiri boy does it. Today it's a woman's issue for me. I won't say whether I'm not opposed or not. I actually have nothing to say about this article because I have not benefited from this article. A lot of Kashmiri Pandits have not benefited from this article. A lot of Muslim girls have not benefited who are married outside. If you can show me one example of a Muslim girl who marries outside and can inherit and her children can inherit, then I'll be really upset because that means then you're discriminating between religion. You know, you're going into Hindu and Muslim. I'm not doing that. Okay. I'm a person who has had, my mother was very sick. I've been breastfed by her best friend who was a Kashmiri Muslim. I have absolutely, I'm a very secular person. I have absolutely nothing. I do not want this to be taken as a Hindu-Muslim issue. What I do want is someone to relook at this article, relook at it. I'm not saying abolish it. You know, it's all right that we need to have our Kashmiriyat. But I also think, please give us back our home also. I don't like going to Kashmir and staying at the Lalit or the Taj or something. I also want to go back and stay in my own home.
Okay.
You know, fine if my home is somewhere I can't stay. Give us some place, give us some identity also. I just think that the Article 370 right now is unfair.
Sunanda Pushkar Tharoor, thanks for joining us on the Buck Stops here. Outspoken as a Kashmiri Pandit on her experience in dealing with what has come to be known as the special status of Jammu and Kashmir that allows the state to have its own laws and not necessarily be governed in all areas by central jurisdiction. Thanks for joining us, Sunanda.